Hello and welcome everyone to a new Heroes of Mana Magic Free video, where in this one we're going to be going over every single cleric in the game. Now clerics are a pretty unique class because they fulfill a very specific role. Outside of fulfilling that very specific role, they're pretty mediocre and bad, but they are one of the only heroes that can fulfill this role. And the role that they're supposed to fulfill is they're supposed to be your diplomacy heroes. Clerics are by far the likeliest class to roll diplomacy in the entire game. And because of this, that makes them pretty good. Because currently diplomacy is no longer banned in online multiplayer play. Rather, it is nerfed. You always have to pay for what you're joining, and also you get only 50% of what you pay for. Well, so it's a pretty substantial nerf, but it's still one of the best ways to generate army in the really late game stages of the games. It doesn't always go that late, and sometimes you can actually have some other heroes be diplo, but if you are building a hero for the sake of diplomacy, then clerics are going to be the best go-to options. So yeah, let's start. First off is we have Adelaide. Adelaide is a really clean hero. She starts off with Advanced Wisdom and nothing else. She has the Frost Ring in her spell, and she also specializes in the Frost Ring. Now, the specialty in the spell are actually not that great. It's kind of okay for taking a side fight or something early into the game. It's not too bad, nothing too special. But where she shines is actually you can build her into a really good hero, because she has nothing ruining her from the very get-go of the game. She can actually become a really good side hero, a really good diplomacy hero. She can become a lot of great things. I would say she is one of the best clerics in the game, putting her in low A tier. Next up is we have Adella. Now this is the hero that actually starts with diplomacy. Basic wisdom and basic diplomacy is her skill set. Diplomacy is not always useful, so it could be argued that she is not really that good, but honestly, she is very good at what she does. And what she does is she is like a diplo machine. She's gonna have a lot of knowledge to actually move around the map with the town portals, dimension doors, because she's a cleric. And also she of course is going to be able to diplo creatures for you, and that is pretty amazing. She is a pretty good hero. But honestly, because her scenarios are more niche than Adelaide's, I actually will put her below her. It's kind of weird, but Adelaide, if she wants to, she's going to be able to be a diplomacy hero too. But she can also be a not diplomacy, just a great support in general. Because of that, I would say that she is better. Next up is we have Caitlyn. Caitlyn is the basic wisdom, basic intelligence hero. And she also has the free 50 gold specialty right off the get-go as well. She is a pretty solid hero. The gold specialty is actually really nice to have. Some extra gold for Ingham, for Kingdom is gonna be great. And pretty much like Adelaide, she can build into a really good side hero and a really good diplomacy hero. Intelligence is a skill that's actually very well suited for the side heroes, and also gives you time to pick some other skills that will also fit your playstyle and what you need at the time, so you're not really forced into a bad skill and you have more time to choose, more level ups to choose from. So yeah, because of this, I would actually put her right in between. And these are the good clerics of the game, really solid ones, great heroes. They would have been quite a bit lower in case the diplomacy wasn't available in online matches, but with diplomacy actually being relevant, these heroes are also becoming really relevant, and I love that. Next up is we have Cutbert. Cutbert is the weakness specialist, starting up with weakness in the spellbook. He starts also off with wisdom and estates. And now this hero, I really hate this hero, okay? And let me explain why. This is the kind of hero that you want to level up only a few times so you can level up his estates and be a pretty good guy for your kingdom. And, just generate some gold, all is good. But whenever you level this guy up, your level 2 is going to be Advanced Wisdom, not Advanced Estates. Your level 3 is also not going to be Advanced Estates. You know why? Because it's going to be Expert Wisdom. This guy never gives you estates! I hate him personally so much. In so many of my games, I actually just want some income from this guy, and he's like, no gold, have wisdom. That's not very wise. I have a grudge against this Ian, but anyway. He's not like a tragic tier hero. You can build into a decent side hero. You also want the estates early on. Decent. Next up is we have Ingham. Ingham is the monk specialist. The monk specialty doesn't really come into play almost at all. It's like basically like a dead thing. And also he has wisdom and mysticism. Mysticism is a decent skill for a side hero, but then again, Ingham ends up being like really bad. The skill set doesn't really get him to be like a decent hero. The special doesn't really do anything. He doesn't have a useful spell right off the get-go, so he ends up lacking in almost every single department. Being a cleric will still make him for like a potential decent diplomacy hero, but honestly, he is not really that great. Now we are looking at a really big fan favorite of all people, Luini. So many people come to my stream and they're like, hey, back when I used to play, I used to go Luini, I used to go water, I would expert specialized prayer my army, and I would be having tons of fun. And honestly, that was me too back in the days. Many people love this guy, but he's not that great. Being like not that strong with class, and also starting off with a dead skill in terms of learning, does not really sell him too well. He is pretty good in the mid game, because when you do get water magic and you do cast that expert prayer, it's gonna be like really strong. But then again, for the most part, for the sake of most of the fights that you'll be taking out on the map, you're paying 16 mana for expert haste. That's what you're doing. You're paying 16 mana for a spell that could be cost, that could be way cheaper. Now, of course, you get the stats, but most usually the stats are not really that big of a selling point for your day-to-day fight. It could be like very useful for that like one big fight or like a PvP fight. In those cases, it's like really good and relevant. But for most cases, you're just overpaying for like a glorious haste. And you know what? I find it really cool too. This guy is okay because of his mid-game spike, but he's not really one that you want to invest into. Next up is we have Ryan. Ryan is the first aid specialist. He starts off the game with a tent. He has first aid and wisdom as his starting skills, and also he doesn't bring marksman into the table either. That's pretty bad! Oh my god. A fully dead skill? Well, not a fully dead skill. The first aid can be good, but it's certainly not worth losing a marksman for. And that's pretty bad. You don't really want to see him in the tavern, you don't really want to build him. First aid is like a death skill, so it's not really useful at all. This hero sucks. He's pretty bad. And because of that, he is going D tier. And Sonia is pretty much like Ryan, except that her skill, Eagle Eye, that she specializes in, she starts off with some basic wisdom, basic Eagle Eye. She doesn't really have any redeeming qualities. I mean, she does get Diplo when you want her to, usually, but that's not good enough. Having like a fully dead skill, dead specialty, does not really sell you as a hero. Pretty garbage. You should always attempt to build almost anyone else apart from these heroes. So yeah, that's how it is. Today, we unfortunately do not have the tribunal to add their comments, so that is it. This is my tier list for Heroes of Might and Magic free clerics. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great week as well. You can catch my streams live. I stream basically every single day. And also, do subscribe to my YouTube. Many of you guys are not subscribed. And, you know, bigger number makes me feel better. So I would appreciate it if you do. So, till next time. Bye-bye.